anyways, going back into me growing up in Christ. So from there I started to grow older, and around the age of like 19, when I went into college, something like I really felt like God started to like shift things in my life and started to place things strategically in my college years. So we came out of high school all hype, like, oh, we're going into college, yeah, it's about to be lit. So I started out my college years with these groups of people, and then slowly but surely, each and every one of them either stabbed me in the back, pissed me off, or just left. Okay? And so in that process, like, of God just slowly removing people from my life and me just being in loneliness, I was like, wow, like, this is the loneliest year of my life. Like, freshman year of college was the loneliest. Like, the spring semester especially was the loneliest, because when I just sat there and I saw that I did almost nothing to these people. I mean, well, I retaliated after the fact, and I'm not proud of it. I was in a season of loneliness, and I had no one really. And so what happened was the whole YouTube thing, the makeup YouTube thing, I turned kind of to makeup YouTube, and I started doing makeup on YouTube, and so I kind of used it as a void filler, you know what I'm saying? I looked to makeup YouTube like, you know what, I'm about to be successful in this, I'm about to make it in this, I'm about to make money on YouTube with this makeup stuff, you know what I'm saying? All those people who left me, they're gonna be sick. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be sick. I'm be out here making money, you know what I'm saying? I'm having enough money to go to dental school later. I'm on the grind all day, every day. And it became an idol in my life. And I didn't realize that until later on, earlier this year in June, where I really started with my journey with God. But it became an idol in my life, and it would be so consuming. Like, I spent money, y'all. Like, this equipment that I'm using to film this video right now, I spent money out of pocket. Like, you know, literally out of pocket money. Like, I spent money, I wasted time. I put everything into this makeup YouTube thing, trying to find a way to validate myself. Like, if I make it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, everything, I put so much into it. I kind of busied myself away from thinking, like, I kind of used it as a way to, like, I started doing YouTube before my lonely season, but in my lonely season, I became a little more obsessive. I started using it as a distraction to the fact that I was so lonely, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't until a moment in my life, May this year, I'm 19, by the way, so May this year, something happened again, of which where I was in my room and I was sleeping. My mom was at work and my dad, he was downstairs watching CNN, and my sisters was chilling. And so I was sleeping in my room, and in my dream I was basically attacked. And so in that dream, it was just crazy, y'all. It was a crazy behind dream. I ain't never had no dream like that before. I mean, I rarely dream, and I know a lot of my dreams, God do speak to me, but, like, this dream was crazy, y'all. Like, I really got literally attacked. In real time, I saw myself getting up out of my bed and being thrown on the floor in my room, and, like, trying to call for God, trying to call for the blood of Jesus, and the blood of Jesus, and I tried to say his name, but I had no power to say it, and I just felt like a spirit, just like, you know, it was a terrible experience. And the only person that helped me to get out of that situation, of which, when I realized there's nothing I could do, I can't even say his name, there's nothing I can do, and then he helped me, and then it just, like, it ended, you know, and then I got up, and then I looked at the place where it was happening, and it was, like, literally in my room, and then I got up, and then all I could do was just, like, you know, like, say his name, like Jesus, you know what I'm saying? And so that particular event put so much into perspective for me. Like, not only, like, I was playing, y'all, I was still playing at that time. I was still playing, because, like, in my mind, it was like this. I'm not doing what those girls are doing. I'm not doing what those boys are doing. Those boys and those girls, they come to church all the time, but they not saints. You know what I'm saying? They sit here and they pretend like they're saints, and they pretend like they just want to do everything for Jesus. But then on social media and in real life, they're the complete opposite. I'm not like that, right? You know, I'm not like that. I don't do nothing crazy, but at the same time, I wasn't praying. I wasn't reading enough. I wasn't pursuing a relationship with God. I wasn't doing that at all. And so I was just, you know, being idle and lukewarm and vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? And so what happened was it showed me that you can't joke. You can't play. You know what I'm saying? So if I wasn't doing nothing crazy at that time, but I wasn't reading and praying, imagine what would happen to somebody, or what could happen to somebody who's straddling the fence, who's going back and forth, who's acting like this way Friday night and coming to church and acting like a saint. Imagine what could happen to that person if that happened to me. I almost died that night, y'all. I was not going to wake up. There's nothing I could have done to wake myself up. You know what I'm saying? And so it puts it into perspective for me. It's like we're out here, we're playing games. And we're out here, we're worrying about issues that don't matter. We're worrying about people. We're throwing shade and we're doing all this stuff, and then we're rolling our necks and we're clapping and we're doing all this stuff. We're fighting against people. But in reality, our real enemy is mad powerful, y'all. Come on. God's almighty, but satanic forces are very powerful. And then they don't, like, yeah, we can't fight them with words. I mean, we can fight them with words of power, words of God. But all that clapping, that roll necking, that's not going to do nothing to them. And so we're fighting against the wrong people. We're putting our energy and our anger against the wrong people. Well, we should be doing that through the word of God, through the power of God, to these satanic forces. They are no joke. They do not play. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy. It's not good. And I could tell you right now, it's not a good experience. You know what I'm saying? And then we're sitting here, we're fighting people, but then, like, imagine these satanic forces just sitting back laughing at us. Like, yeah, they butting heads. Yeah, they arguing. That's what I did. I created that confusion. I created that division. And now they're sitting here arguing about nonsense. That's where I want them to be. I want them to be blind. I want them to sit there and then fall into that nonsense, that Instagram, that Snapchat is feeding them about how they're supposed to be, who they're supposed to be, how they're supposed to behave. Yeah, that's good. I want them there, you know? And so I feel like the Lord let it happen, because I feel like he let it happen to let me see, like, you need to stop playing. You need to stop playing, because it's not a joke. I need you at this point. You are 19 years old. I need you to stop playing. So I feel like that's what that was. And so from there, like, I started changing my ways. And it's funny because there was a youth revival at my church, and the theme was don't conform to this world. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the theme. And then what happened was throughout that revival, it was a 3-day revival, I consecrated myself, and I wanted to feel God's presence. And by that time, guys, I was feeling his presence. And I prayed, and I took those 3 days seriously. And by the end of those 3 days, the Lord somehow led me to Jeremiah. And I started to read the book of Jeremiah. And through reading the book of Jeremiah, he started to speak to me. And then he started to speak to me about the idols that I had in my life, to the point where I took a pen and a paper and I wrote them down. And on top of that list was YouTube. YouTube was my #1 idol. And so as we started going deeper and deeper into the chapter, he started to speak to me more and more. And it started to make me realize that I need to delete. It's difficult for me, to be honest, because, like, I put so much work into that. It was hard for me. And even, like, coming to make this channel and speak on here, it was difficult for me, because it's like, how you go from doing makeup and posting on my Instagram timeline all day for me to go watch your makeup videos, to speaking about God. You know what I'm saying? I had to delete everything, and all my work, all my hard work, and I thought for a moment all my money was gone and down the drain. And it you know, it's just something I had to do. I feel like there's some things you have to sacrifice for relationships. Like if you're in a relationship with your boyfriend, and he don't want you to be talking to this dude, 9 times out of 10 you probably stop talking to the dude. And so I had to like delete my YouTube channel. And that's why I deleted it, because I genuinely felt, I knew the Lord told me to get rid of it. So I got rid of my YouTube channel. And so we started to grow more and more. And through YouTube, I learned and I saw and I found some very inspiring women of God. First, I found Chelsea Maria, and she really inspired me. And then she led me to Heather Lindsay. These are, you know what I'm saying? All their words and just how they just helped me a lot with my walk with God, getting closer to God and understanding certain things. And I started to spend more time with God. So it went from me barely praying to God, me praying on the first Sunday to go get, the bread and the cracker, to me actually like spending time with God and starting to learn who God is, and God speaking to me and God fixing things in me, you know what I'm saying? Like in my loneliness, He changed so much for me. Like in my period of loneliness, He helped me to realize to finally be content lonely, you know what I'm saying? Finally be content without people, finally not relying on other people for happiness, finally just relying on Him. And so now in this state, I cannot tell you that I thought that I would be here. I did not. I never thought that I could be this much at peace. I never thought that I could be this okay with not having any friends. I never thought I could be alright. You know what I'm saying? And the idea of never being with anybody, I never thought I'd be okay with it. But now I am. I'm fine. I'm actually pretty happy. I'm actually pretty peaceful. And that's what He does. He comes in and He changes things. He changes how you think. He changes how you work. He changes how you walk. You know what I'm saying? And He helps you be peaceful and happy. And He speaks to you, when you're about to sometimes when you're about to pop off on somebody, He'll speak to you. He'll speak to you in the littlest things, you know what I'm saying? And then it's just amazing to finally have that relationship with God and finally understanding what my pastor told me years ago, that the relationship is the key, you know? And so in this moment right now, I'm just trying my best to walk with God, stand with God, and everything. It is probably a whole lot of the testimony that I forgot out, but that's really it. And I just, now that I look at things, I'm looking and I'm seeing things from a different perspective, I feel kind of sad. I feel kind of wow, because when I think about all the souls that are going to be lost, all the souls that are being deceived, all the kids that are lost, all the children that are being deceived, they just don't understand. They might not understand what a relationship with Christ yields. They might not understand how it can literally fix and change everything in their lives. They might not understand that certain things that they're doing is not okay. They might not understand that they cannot straddle the fence. They might not understand that it takes more than just coming to church every Sunday. They might not understand that. You know what I'm saying? They're looking up to people, and the people they're looking up to themselves, they don't understand that. So it's just like, it makes me sad when I see someone who's straddling the fence, like I kind of was. I was being passive. I wasn't doing anything wrong in my mind, but at the same time, I was doing a lot wrong. And God, and it shows you a lot about judgment, like judging people. Just because you're not doing the visible things, you think you're okay. You think you're alright, but you're really not. You're very, very far from Him. And when you're far from Him, you're very, very vulnerable. And so it makes me sad for people who don't understand, and for people who are straddling the fence, people who are being made victim to this lifestyle, victim to this mindset, this need to be lit all the time, this need to have the best time of your life, this need to look a certain type of way, this need to be accepted by a certain type of crowd. You know what I'm saying? It's sad when I see it in the church, because it's like, we're in the church and we're hearing all this word, but yet we're still lost. We're still straddling the fence. We still don't quite understand what it means to have a relationship with Christ. And that's where I was. You know what I'm saying? And I feel bad, but I'm going to see what basically I'm trying to use my talents for Christ. You know, I've been editing since I was a kid, ever since my uncle bought me my first laptop in freshman year. You know, I've been editing on it since. You know, I've been editing, and I've had a love for editing, and I grew a love for videoing. And so I believe that I rather use my talents for Christ instead of for other things, because there's so much we can do, y'all. There's so many people that we can reach, you know, on a level of realness. There's so many people who we can reach. Like, someone may not receive something from someone who's 49, but we're young. We can reach these people. We can let them know, you know, we can relate to them on personal levels that someone who's like probably 50 or 30 can't. There's so much we can do, you know what I'm saying? There's so many souls at stake. There's so many people being deceived. There's so much we can do for it. We can give truth, and so that's what I'm trying to do. So I don't know. I hope this has helped somebody. If anybody is lost or confused or felt any type of way, I hope this helps someone. And with that being said, that is the end of my Christian testimony and why I deleted my last YouTube channel. So on this YouTube channel, I cannot promise no schedule, no nothing, because I'm just going with the flow of Jesus. I don't know. Okay, so when he puts it on my heart to make a video, that's what I'm going to do. And so if anybody has watched this video this far, thank you. And anyways, that's it. And cool. God bless.